Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so let's just get into our seals and tones here. We got our blue lunar monkey. We got our lunar star. We got our lunar knight. We got our lunar dragon. And then we'll have our crystal dog. Oh, it's going to be a fun one. I already see something happening here. Lunar star. That's kind of interesting because of the tone, the word lunar. That's very, cosmic, galactic. It's very celestial in that way, and the star is as well. So the lunar star energy, it's interesting. Both are types of light that don't directly reflect the sun, but both have this shining quality. And so the lunar tone of challenge is like a challenge to get into our art and our elegance today. And there's going to be challenge and polarity across the board, whether it's just, units of two, maybe it's more about like, pairings, than large groups, things like that. Maybe it's more about those separationalisms or that pulse energy, which like come together, go apart, come together, go apart. Even though that's more readily available on tone 9 days, the solar tone, I still feel there's a bit of a wave pattern that naturally shows up in a polarity, simply because polarities naturally attract and repel from each other. It's natural to their existence. And so how that polarity is showing up to you, if we're, creating a polarity with that art, our personal practice, right? How we're embodying that. Is today a day that is really easy to dress up beautiful? Maybe we're cleaning the house today, right? And it's really easy to do so. Maybe we're, just making certain things tickety-boo, bringing the shine onto things, however that feels. Right? So the star, I feel, today is going to be very vast in its expression of artistry and its expression of beauty. It could also say it's very easy to indulge in feeling disconnected from that art and beauty, feeling disconnected from that elegance. Maybe today's a day where you feel kind of chunky, right? Where you feel kind of blocky and a little jagged and not too elegant. And so that's kind of summoning the energy to bring focus more towards the elegance. So moving up a little bit here to the night, I find here it's another very vague one actually for me today. And this is like the polar tone for me really speaks volumes with some seals and not so much with others. I feel the dragon will speak highly and the dog will speak highly, but the night, we're feeling that kind of like, maybe it's like a feeling of being separate from our dreams, maybe being challenged by our abundance. Maybe today is a day to, focus on those financial flows or focus on the things we want to bring into our lives, because those things are being represented as polarities to us today. So those things rising up may need our attention, especially as those energies of tomorrow come in and the next day after that, because today we're identifying our challenges, and tomorrow that the energy between the polarity is that electricity, and that creates the electric tone, and that's we identify our service, and the day after that we identify what form it's going to take. So we're still in those early phases of the wave spell, which are essentially formative patterns. The first 4 days are formative patterns, helping us really see what that energy is. And then once we kind of really check it out in the first 4 days, we're going to be going through the next number of days and really crystallizing, bringing life to that, right? So day 5 to day 8, we're going to be taking command of that energy and we're going to be making it our own. We're going to be getting, really into that, right? And so I feel the night helps us isolate our dreams, help us be focused and clear about what's going on with that, because that feeling of separation, that feeling of lack, that may very well be there, depending on how this is showing up for you. That feeling of being separate from it is a call to be looking at it. It is a call to be focusing on that, and an allowance to feel what that feels like. Don't deny those emotions. The night is also that. The night is, it has those darker, more shadowy aspects that we don't see very often. So it's an invitation to look deeper at those things we've separated ourselves from. This is another good aspect of the night, is that polarity with that night energy is like, what are the shadowy things, the darker things in ourselves that we've separated ourselves from, that we've hidden away from. Today, in this time, the guiding power of the day is a really good time to feel into that. And if things just arise naturally, don't resist them, right? Allow them to have presence in you, because there's something there for you. And this again is all setting the field for that playfulness, right? There's a beauty and an elegance which is very easy for the monkey, right? And I find this is what helps exemplify the playfulness, because the playfulness, is fun. It is beautiful. It's beautiful to play. It's elegant to play. Playing brings a fun and exuberant energy. And with the night energy, it could be bringing up shadows. We might be doing something that's like, oh, whoa, this reminds me of this, or I remember this from when I was a child, and, whatever, right? Whatever. There's so many analogies, like we know. And so let's go on to the lunar dragon. And the way I'm really seeing this today is because the monkey is the player. The monkey may have a hard time nurturing things. And so it's like, the dragon to me a lot is the one doing the projects, the one cooking the meal, the one taking care of things, right? The one managing territory and stuff like that. And so it's our general nurturer, and it may be saying that it's very easy to play today. But jump into your dragon, because your dragon really wants you to take care of some things first. And it may be hard to get to that. The monkey energy may be very exuberant today. The play energy may be very like, I want to play. I want to play. But there's also this amazing thing you could be responsible for and nurture and like put some being energy into that would really fruit today. And that can really feel separate from that. And also because it's a lunar tone on a challenge area of the day, I find those become really significant, because in some way it's like double challenge. It's not like I'm guided by your own power doubled, but in some way it is, I find. It's in the challenging area of the day with the lunar tone of challenge. So whatever that nurturing energy is, right, let's give it some love. And so that next part of that as well is like how the dragon can show up with fangs, right? How it can be more sharp, how it can be more in your face, maybe a bit more aggressive, more intense, more protective. And so the monkey's playful, natural energy is always challenged by that more serious rapport of the dragon. And so I feel there's a balance here, a balance to be able to kind of get both on, take a look at the sharpness that may be involved. There may not be, right? Like, it's very different for everyone how this is going to show up. But these are the things that come to mind around kind of explaining these energies of the day. And so there's a polarization, there's a separation. Maybe it's separating yourself from that dragon energy. Maybe there's a need to get away from it. This thing's really challenging me. I need to get away from that so I can just kind of be with my beauty and my play, like my elegance. Hey, dragon, you're really challenging me today, right? My overcoming that is going to be saying no, boundaries, goodbye, right? A big part of this too is know your needs, know who you are, right? If something, there's as a usual a good phrase I like, and if it's not a full yes, it's a no. So check in, and if you resonate with a full yes, then it's a full yes. If you resonate something and have a little bit of uncertainty or doubt, it's a no. Just that simple. Unless it's a full yes, it's a no. Okay, well, let's go to the crystal dog. So the crystal dog, to me, feels like a really amazing moment where many units or many people or whatever could come together. The crystal dog actually feels like the coming together of like a family event. This is like a potluck, or this is like a beautiful supper, or this is like a party with your close friends and tribe, right? This is like, coming together with your lover, your loved ones. The crystal tone really exemplifies that multiple units coming together as oneness, similar to that magnetic tone, but different, more complex in a way, more universal. It has a much deeper resonance in some way than the one tone, because the one tone, while its unification, can also represent like individuality. It can represent being alone, right? And the crystal tone never represents the type of unity that can be interpreted as being alone. And so it's always a group effort. It's always a community effort. And so, for all you know, you could see a whole pack of dogs being walked during that time, because that's that crystal dog energy. So, yeah, I feel that's going to, jump in today. There's going to be some significant group energy that is going to be part of the day. And it doesn't have to be physical, right? It could be online for all you know. It can be preparing for something, and that's why, like, maybe you're preparing for something tomorrow at work or whatever, and it's like a business meeting, and so today, because it's the hidden power, it's more abstract, you're more like getting prepared for it. It's a hidden power, so maybe it's more an internal dialogue, an internal witnessing, and that's allowing you to prepare for something that has this quality. As these things, they just show up in so many different ways. And so I feel another thing too, outside of any of my descriptions. And I feel that once everyone starts doing stuff like this, what I have to say about things won't matter too much. And once you kind of know the breath energies and you kind of breathe, because breathing attunes you to the living frequency. And that living frequency is going to translate it directly and exactly as you need it to be relevant to your life. And you can simply ask, say, like, hey, what's your message today? Or, like, how do you show up? Like, how can I best realize this energy? In this term, maybe it's like the crystal dog. How can I best realize you? This is sentient. Pose a question, breathe, vibrate with that essence, and it'll show you in the way that you can receive, be open to receive, be open to it being anything, and then you will receive that information. So yeah, that feels like a good drop here. Yeah, invitation to be more open to your own wisdom, your own data, your own channeling. We're all equal in this extent. I'm only creating a bridge, the bridger of worlds in many ways. Though I'm not a will bridger proper, I'm a magnetic earth, helping navigate the blueprint of this territory. That's why I'm here. Also help you find yourself. These tools help you find yourself. They'll always be there every day. Well, stay tuned for the Mind Pyramid meditation coming up right next in our episode of 1320 Time Stream here.